on and works?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's 9 a.m. Monday morning, the 21st of May. We'll bring a special session of Somervell County Commissioners Court to order. Let the record show Larry Hulsey, John Curtis, Danny Chambers, Kenneth Wood, Don Krantz are all present. Item number 1, discuss, take action on IT contract. Eddie's here this morning if we have any questions. Brian and I met with him, went over everything we could possibly think of. Then Eddie took it and revised it. Andy took it, looked over it. Andy's not here right now. I didn't remind him it was at 9 instead of 9:30. Do y'all have any questions at all that we need to answer or try to answer? The $102,000 a year does cover the anytime service, 24-hour, evening, weekends, holidays.
365 days a year.
He included that in there.
We don't even have to supply cost, so it's really good.
Either side has 30-day out.
Effective date, start date?
June 1st. Well, actually, midnight, May 31st at 12:01 a.m. is when it would actually take effect.
And so, money that was budgeted for this budget year would cover.
Yes, sir. We had budgeted 105 for the year, so absolutely. So even though this contract would span 2 budget years, obviously. So
was this contract due this time of the year?
Yes.
Okay.
We had it with the school district, which did not require a bid because it was in their local.
Right.
So.
Theirs, and I dropped a letter off to Wayne, letting him know that we were not intending on renewing the contract with the school, and we would let it terminate at 12 midnight, May 31st.
So there's no hidden cost to. Okay.
Nope. Just what we have in the IT budget items, which are not hidden, but that goes for expenses, $570.
Okay.
Any questions at all? I guess I'd entertain a motion to move forward with this contract.
I'll make the motion.
SLG. I have a motion by Larry to move forward with the outsource IT managed services SLG. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by John. Any further questions or comments? All in favor of said motion? That's 5-4, 0 against. Eddie, I'll sign this and give it to Michelle, and once they get it filed, then you can get a copy of it also. All right? Thank you, sir. No.
That's Debbie.
All right. Item number 2, discuss, take action on revised compensatory time policy. Caller, would you like to present that?
Should have highlighted copies of the changes. The bottom section that just was removing the sick time for the comp time for sick time substitution as requested by the court. And a little bit higher up, I just made some changes of opportunity. I had included 911 dispatchers in the 207K category. I removed those. I took out emergency medical personnel and combined them with firefighters and just called them certified firefighters, which they have to be under the 207K. And I went ahead and put a effective date of June the 6th because both 207 and non-207 payrolls have a start date at the same time. Just so happens they fall at the same time. So that would be the effective date should you approve this policy.
Paula, in the second paragraph, the highlighted section on start May. Okay. I thought you were addressing the firefighters when they were.
I did. I just clarified and made it certified firefighters.
Okay. When they were all fighting wildfires.
Well, you have to be a certified.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
I make a motion that we approve Section 3.02 compensatory time effective June the 6th, 2018.
I have a motion by John, second by Kenneth. Any further questions or comments? All in favor of said motion? It's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 3, discuss take action on setting new speed limit County Road 2027 and County Road 2028 in Oakview Ranch. I believe that's you, John.
Yes, I had misused numbers last meeting. I used 2017 and 2018 rather than 2027 and 2028. So I make a motion that we approve the speed limit on County Road 2027 and County Road 2028, and the better known as Oakview Ranch.
I have a motion by John, second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion for John?
Is there any county roads at the last meeting? Or do we rescind that other motion?
We never did have it all.
We
the way
didn't have,
through.
this is the,
Oh, you didn't have it complete.
right, this is the one we sign off on.
Andy had typed up.
And I went to Michelle and told her, and to Andy and told him I made a verbal mistake, an old age mistake.
Yeah.
Short timer's disease.
I know the feeling.
All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. If you don't want to push that way and sign it, bring it back this way, and we'll give it to Michelle. Item number 4, discuss take action designating a private road in precinct 3. I believe that's you, Kenneth.
Yeah, we've got a property that's been purchased behind the Bradis River Retreat, Bradis House Retreat, off of right at the end of County Road 304. So in order to get to 911 to straighten up for that area and the new property owner, we'll designate private road 32.
I think Tanya's here if we have any questions or discussion.
Well, I'm just curious, I guess you answered it, the reason, why are we involved in putting private road signs?
Well, there has to be a road designated by Commissioner Court before you can get the 911 numbers back in there.
Well, I'm still confused. Everybody's got a private road.
Well, what takes place there is they got to go through Myers property to get to their property.
So any easement needs a
Yeah.
private road sign?
Not,
Yeah.
not all.
Not all of them.
Okay.
Not all.
Myers has got 4 different.
There's about 5 different actual numbers on that property, and then when these people bought the property behind them, which the only access to them was through the Myers property, then it would just add another letter, like we do the ABC. So to ease that of not having so many letters, it was suggested to just do a private road, and then each house down that private road would have their own number, instead of the ABC.
Is it pretty much for like emergency response, first
Yes,
responders,
yes,
things
sir.
like that, so they can actually find them up on that?
Right, and the ABC, once you start getting over C, D, it starts getting a little confusing of where the, which one's which.
And maybe I'm repeating myself, but the main reason we do the private roads is for 911.
Yes.
Okay. So first responders can find them in time of emergency.
Okay, so when they're looking it up.
I mean, they still maintain their own road. It's
I
not a
understand
county
that. No, I
thing.
understand. I was just curious, and I guess that's, okay. When say the fire department looks it up, it says private road first, and then
There
it
you
goes to
go.
the line. Okay, I
And
understand.
they'll each have their own sign.
Okay.
Can anyone have their specific and do away with their B, C, D? Or is that up to? you have
The
to bring it to
commissioners
the
will pass
board?
it.
Well, you're in Don's down there, aren't you? You got to argue with Don.
Yeah, we got A, B, C, possibly D going on ours, so.
Yeah, we got a lot of A, B's, and C's.
I wish there was a different way that we numbered, so we wouldn't have to do the ABC, but that's how it's done.
So, any further discussion? Would you like to make a motion including the county road or the private road number, Kenneth?
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve private road 32 in precinct 3.
I have a motion by Kenneth,
Second.
second by Don. Any further questions or comments? All in favor of said motion, it's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 5, approve final plat for lot 23E-1 and 23E-2 in Glen Rose Hills Addition. I believe that's you also, Kenneth.
Yeah, we've got, let's see which one we start with first.
Glen Rose Hills.
Yeah, Glen Rose Hills. All right, we've got a lady up there that's wanting to split a lot off of the property that she owns so she can sell both properties. And the 0.55 acre is already established as a residence with a separate property line fence on it, has county water and already has its own sewer system.
And we approved the preliminary at a regular meeting.
At a regular meeting.
All right.
I make a motion that we approve the final plat on, let's see, lots, each portion lot 23, which makes it lot 23E-1 and 23E-2.
I have a motion by Kenneth.
Second.
I have a second by Don. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. I'll let you catch up on paperwork. Doesn't matter if yours too. All right, item number 6, approved final plat for lots 15 through 26 of Sandy Heights subdivision phase 2.
Sandy Heights is a subdivision that Danny Butler started before he passed away, and we approved the preliminary on it at the regular meeting. It's Bodie has picked up on it and going to go forward. I make a motion that we approve the final plat on lots 15 through 26 of Sandy Heights subdivision phase 2.
I have a motion by Kenneth.
Have a second.
I have a second by Don. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? 5 for, 0 against. Item number 7, discuss take action on contract renewal for number 1 asphalt. I believe that's you, Mr. Watts.
Yes, sir. We contacted our bid recipients from the original bid, and they're willing to continue to obligate themselves to the original bid award. So saving us from having to go out for rebid. So we're just asking permission to renew to get the same rates. That would be with Southern Asphalt and Wright Asphalt Company on asphalt, and then Vulcan Materials for the hot mix cold light. And the only change there, Judge, would be duly passed and signed on
The
this.
date.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for Brian? If not, I'd entertain a motion for the contract for asphalt.
So moved.
I have a motion by John,
Second.
second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion?
That is a 3-year extension, up to 3 years of
We
extension.
originally said, yes, sir, for 3 1-year extensions to save us the cost of going.
What's the volatility in the price of that stuff? Do you know?
Well, the asphalt is, of course, an oil-based,
Yeah.
petroleum-based product, and I would assume so is the hot mix cold lake. It's got a
Yeah.
petroleum base to it. So there is some volatility to it, but obviously they're willing to honor their original prices. So
Is this this is a new renewal? I mean, what I'm getting at is, do we have
The
3 years?
original-
Do we have,
the original was in May of 2017. So,
okay.
excuse me, no, I'm sorry. May of 2015 was on the
So this is starting over.
Yes, sir. This will be for a whole nother year. It's not a 3-year deal. We've just the original one has been renewed 2 other times. So this is the 3rd year that we're renewing this.
But are we agreeing to 1-year extensions for
Yes, sir.
3 years?
One year extension. This will be the 3rd. So
Okay.
we don't lock in for 3 years. We just
Okay.
do it a year at a time.
Okay.
So we'll
That's
be
why I was
going-
asking that volatility question.
Right. So we'll actually go out for bid next year.
Okay. I got you.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? 5 for, 0 against. Next one is for hot mix cold lake.
It's the same.
It was
the same deal. The same.
Gage?
The same motion.
All right.
same motion for both of them. You got that?
Wait a minute.
The second one should be for bulk materials is the hot mix cold lake.
Yes. All right, item number 8, discuss take action on purchasing a vehicle for the golf course. Back to you, Brian.
I wanted to bring this to your attention and your discussion and decision, obviously. We had budgeted $15,000 for the purchase of a vehicle to replace the old, I think it's a Chevy S10 or whatever there that Roy is using in the maintenance area. We had received a bid, so to speak. I mean, with a used vehicle, we really don't do a bid on it. We went down to Champion Auto and was given a price quote of $12,500 on a red F-250, a 2006 model with 102,000 miles on it. The road crew, Curtis out there, also recommended that we look at a buy board. And that's what you see from Classic, which is on our buy board pricing for a 2018 Chevrolet Silverado for $22,615. Obviously, the cost savings that we're having by doing the rentals on the equipment that we had specified to purchase, we could move the $7,000 over to that to make up the difference. Just wanted to get your feeling and what you guys wanted to do.
So one's a 2006 versus a 2018
Yes, sir.
for 7.
So you're looking at a 12-year-old vehicle with 102,000 miles on it, and I'm sure as in no warranty, versus
Brand new with.
a brand new with warranty.
Yes, sir.
I think we would be for $10,000 for $10,114.59 more. I make a motion that we approve the buy board through Classic for $22,614.59 with the assumption, with the recognition from Jeff that does meet the need of what the golf course utilizes this vehicle for. Does this vehicle, if we approve this vehicle, will it meet your needs?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we'd already budgeted $15,000, so we moved $7,000 out of the equipment over into that for the
Good.
purchase. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, I have a motion, but I'm sorry.
And then we'll come back later to declare that S10 available for any other department if they needed it or salvage.
Doesn't it have antique tags?
I don't know. We can put it in the Somervell County Museum, perhaps. I don't know.
I have a motion by John. Do I have a second?
Yeah.
I have a second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion for Brian or Jeff?
I'm sorry, can I get the price on that one more time?
$22,614.59.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. All right, I have a motion by John, second by Kenneth. All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 9, Approved budget transfers. Back to you, Brian.
Item number 10, county bills. I put this on your desk. We're paying Windstream and our electric bill, and then the two are coming out. The two in the middle are coming out of the juvenile probation funds. The first one is the salary reimbursement coming to the county for $13,400, and the second one for $21,000 going back to Texas Juvenile Justice Center because we did not spend it. So it's their money we're sending back. The good news is we just don't have a juvenile probation problem in this county, which is really good. And maybe we need to get the judge to toughen up.
Any further questions for Brian?
I make a motion to pay our bills.
I have a motion by Kenneth to pay our bills.
Second.
I have a second by John. Any further discussion, complaints, issues? All in favor said motion. That's 5-4, 0 against.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I have a motion by Kenneth.
You got a second?
I have a second by Don. All in favor to adjourn this one, but don't run off. We've got one more item to take care of. All right, we adjourn that meeting at 9:21. At 9:22, we will call a special session at 21st day of May at Somervell County Commissioners Court. That's regular cell Larry Halsey, John Curtis, Danny Chambers, Kenneth Wood, and Don Cranch are all present. The first and only item is discuss take action on seal bids for gas and oil products.
If you remember from our discussion last time, our current provider, Lambert Oil, had gone out of business, which forced us to make some quick solicitations, and these are the tabulations. And so on the gas contract, which is the one that does not have the yellow on it, the auditor's office is recommending that we go with Holstein Oil, which is Taylor. They've changed their name. They have the best prices with no delivery fee, and they also have a volume discount that they will work if they can, if we're buying more and more on one delivery, and their salesman will actually coordinate that for us. He will call the departments. If one department calls in, he will make sure calling the other departments to see if anybody else needs it so that we can maybe tap into some of those discounts. And the only additional charge that you see is if there is a weekend emergency delivery, there is a $90 fee. But we have never had that situation before.
Not to mention they pulled us out of a huge bind.
They certainly did.
So you need a motion for Holstein?
Yes,
sir.
I do.
I'll make one.
Have a motion by Larry to move forward with Holstein for the gas and oil products.
Second.
I have a second by John. Any further questions or discussion?
Not that much neither. Where's Holstein out of?
Fort Worth.
Okay.
All in favor said motion. That's 5-4, 0 against. Anything else, Mr.
The
Watts?
next one is the oil contract, and that is the tabulation sheet with the yellow. We would recommend that you award it based upon the indicated numbers, split award between Holstein and TF&E for the individual items. We would hope that TF&E would honor those particular items without getting the whole contract. But based upon our usage, that's a significant change. If you notice, especially on that top one being $11.25 a gallon with Holstein and $9 a gallon with TF&E for the same product. So we would ask that you would award the as indicated.
So as long as we buy it by the drum, we go from Holstein. We buy it by the quart, we go from TF&E.
Have you talked to these people, or is that the way they turn the bid in?
We're waiting. We're currently buying everything from Holstein, which is Taylor. PF&E is a new player to us, so we're hoping that we can specify when we do the award notification to them. We will tell them what items they won the award on.
If we get to that point and PF&E Oil Company says no, we want it all or none, or we don't have to reconvene.
If you go ahead and make it part of your motion, that then it would you automatically go to the next bidder. We will simply just go to the next bidder.
Okay, I'll make that motion and you specify how you want it.
Okay, to award the items as indicated on this tabulation sheet, and any objection to the bidder would automatically be awarded to the next highest bidder, or next lowest bidder,
Yeah.
the next bidder.
So one will be the Holstein, another one PF&E.
PF&E Oil Company. Yes, sir.
Motion made.
I have a motion by Larry,
Second.
second by John. Sort of disturbing. It's a shame that they can't get the court price all in one. That's crazy. But anyhow, I have a motion by Larry, a second by John. Any further questions or discussion?
Why do some things cost more at Walmart and less at somewhere else? You know,
That's crazy. All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. Back to you, Kenneth.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
You bet.
Like on this, after you've got these bids,
Yes, sir.
you couldn't have would it be illegal for you to negotiate it with these people?
Because it's not a proposal. That's correct. When we do bids, what comes in is what we accept, if it meets the specifications.
How do we buy most of our stuff right now? A drum or by the court?
We actually looked. We went back and because that was my same question, Judge. I asked to let's go back and just see if it was worth it, and it was about $500 worth because of the quartz that they had purchased in just this past year. So
Now explain it. You said this was a proposal and not a bid?
this was a bid,
A
but
bid,
when we do
but you can,
proposals,
on proposal.
that's why a lot of
Okay.
times when we come in with
That's what I
something,
thought.
we'll do a request for proposal, which gives us an opportunity to negotiate with that bidder. When we do a bid, we lay it out there, and we do
Okay,
bids
right.
typically when it's a market item, like fertilizers or, janitorial supplies.
Then the next thing on a bid, if we didn't like any of them, we'd send them back out.
We would just simply reject the bids.
And they could look and see what they needed to come under.
Well, actually, until we award, this does not become public
Right.
knowledge.
Well, Kenneth, would you like to adjourn this meeting?
Yeah, I make a motion during this meeting.
Have a motion by Kenneth,
Got a second.
second by Don. All in favor of said motion? 5 for, 0 against.
I need all the court to sign these two documents up here.
9:29.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you all.
Leslie, go ahead and get that order.
Brady.